This should work.
It's coming straight from the Mac, so if it doesn't work out of this, I don't know what to tell you.
Me either. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you either. All right, let's see if this works. All right. We got one person. All right, JS21. Juan, can you tell me if you can hear everything all right? Can you hear Ryan? Ryan, speak up. Just start talking. Whatever you want to say.
Can you hear me? Is what I want to know. Can I be heard? Third time's the charm, they said. Let's hear it.
Please let me know if you guys can hear Ryan right now. That would be.
No.
No?
Damn it.
What?
But I hear him. I can barely hear him. We can hear him. We can barely hear Ryan. Ryan is heard, but very low.
All right, let's try this. Is he better now?
Must I scream? Dad, if I have to scream every breakdown.
Very low. So he's not any better.
Okay.
Still not. All right. Keep talking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gonna get this right. Third time's the charm, they say.
Whoa.
Volume is low. We can hear him low volume. That's all I'm hearing. But
They said a
I
little
do
more,
exist.
so I turned everything all the way up. It's better than what it was. All right,
Okay.
talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can hear you better.
I can hear him low. Damn it. Oh my God. The stream is. He's very low, but we can hear him. Why? Why? I literally cannot turn my volumes up any higher.
I'm about to call it, bro. If this doesn't work, I'm about to call it. We're going with. You gotta get a microphone, bro.
I had one. It didn't work last time, so I'll just get a.
It didn't work last time.
I'll just get a whole different setup.
All
It
right.
didn't work. It didn't work as
We
good.
gotta
It's
set you up
good. It's
on the
good.
stream or something, bro. It's getting out of hand. All right.
Okay, they said it's better now.
It's better now?
Yes, sir. They said it's good. It's good. It's good. Oh, thank goodness.
All right. Here we go.
Film
Let's get into
session,
film. We don't even need to talk about anything else. Let's get right into the film. I don't want to talk about anything else. So, all right. Without further ado, we got the Lakers. We got to get your stream set up, bro. This is crazy.
We're gonna get it.
We can't have you out here dirty like that, bro.
I'm going to Best Buy. We're gonna get it all set up.
All right, shit. Let's jump into the film. Here we go. So anything you want to do, it's on you. So we're talking basketball. If you guys got questions, let me know in the chat. You can follow along. We're finally back to it, so we're good to go. Yesterday, the Lakers played Denver. It was a really good game, in my opinion. But Lakers ended up pulling away, which Denver was giving them problems to start off with.
Denver has so many pieces. They are deep, and I don't have to yell, and you guys can hear me. Thank goodness. Me and Dev were talking about Marc Gasol, right, and how the Lakers had lost a few pieces, and JaVale and Dwight, and how that could hurt them. And Mark, you see him stretching the floor, is really nice to help out Montrez, but defensively can't guard anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So
is that gonna come back to bite him?
He might not see a ton of minutes in the playoffs.
And Jokic was kind of going at him too in this game. Like to start off what I was watching. I don't think you can guard Jokic with somebody slower. I thought Dwight Howard did a good job on him. Then who's he passing it to? He passed it right to him. But yeah, I think it's gonna come back. It might come back to bite them, but I just think that they're so talented that they're not gonna have that many issues, and they guard well in the perimeter or whatever. So I think it'll be tough. It'll be tough, but they'll still be fine. Are they gonna have as easy of a role to the playoffs as they did last year? I do not know. I don't know.
I think they're going to be fine getting there, but once they reach the playoffs, we'll have to see. You see the Suns making it?
Do I see the Suns making it?
Yeah.
The Suns are going to make the playoffs. Yeah. The Suns are going to make it for sure.
Who's the other team? Is the
Memphis? I don't think Memphis is going to make it.
That's the other one.
Yeah, I don't think Memphis is going to make it, but Portland is gonna have a tough time, but you know what's funny? Like they're winning games, and they're winning games without they won without Dame. Like they blew they blew Philadelphia out, who really wasn't, they had pretty much their whole team, which is confusing. But I don't know. The Portland seems to be figuring it out. If I had to make a bet, Dallas is not gonna make the playoffs, and San Antonio's still in the race too.
San Antonio and Houston.
I forgot about on the bubble games too. The bubble games.
Memphis,
the play-in games, I should say.
Memphis and Houston both went on win streaks.
Memphis and Houston, you said?
Yes.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see how it turns out, but I really don't think that Memphis is going to make the playoffs. So that would be one team. But it'll be interesting because there's so many good teams that are out there right now, right? So, I mean, the West, like I said yesterday, the West is better than the East as a whole. A lot of really good teams, and it's competitive. Even Sacramento is lightweight, starting to be competitive. They beat Boston the other day,
Why do you think Dallas isn't going to make it?
Because they're just not. They're not. You know what's funny? So them in the Heat, and let's be real. There's so much season left. There's so much time left, but thank y'all, bro. Them in the Heat, they pretty much have the exact same team. Right? Jimmy Butler came back skinny. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if he got the coronavirus or what, but he came back skinny, and they're both not winning games like how you would think that they are. So I don't know. I don't really know what the deal is, but if they don't get it together pretty soon, it's going to be bad. Dallas, they're having problems. Like, seems like they're having problems internally. Like Luka is always complaining to the refs more than I remember him doing, and the teammates are kind of frustrated with him. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they get it together because I like Luka, I like Porzingis. I don't see the chemistry that they have, but I don't know. We'll see how things turn out. It's a long season. Like the Lakers can freaking end up in fourth place or something crazy, which I don't doubt that's going to happen, but. Injuries, I mean, you see Anthony Davis right on time, limping right there. Injuries can affect things. The whole COVID situation and people not playing can affect things. They were talking about, somebody even just said it right now, Luka wasn't in shape to start off with, so maybe he'll get in shape and start playing a little bit better because he was not shooting the ball well. All this, that, and the other. So,
speaking of the coronavirus, All-Star game, good or bad thing?
I don't think that they should have it. Personally, that was a dime. I don't think that they should have it, personally, because it's just like the All-Star event is mainly for, I don't know, I just like basketball. So if they're going to go out and just hoop, I'm cool with it, which they had that whole Kobe quarter in the fourth quarter. I thought it was a great idea. It was fun to watch, and we got some good basketball, right? So I would love to see, that type of basketball, even if fans weren't there, even though they're allowing fans. I don't know what they're going to do. But, with the whole COVID situation.
I got a call from the Clippers. Like, they had tried to sell me a ticket.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, they're letting people in the games. But I don't know. I just don't think it's a great idea because, bro, listen, I am so ready to get back to normal. It's not even funny. Like, I'm ready for all this stuff to be over with,
Yeah.
And so, like, anything that can help speed that process up, I'm with it. So, anyways, we're going to jump to the second half, and we're going to have our whole little breakdown. So, anything that you see, just stop it, and then I'll kind of piggyback off of you. I love the chemistry that Jokic and Murray have. They really, play well together. This whole team does.
I was going to say, this is just one of the better teams in general. Not that they have just good players, but as a team, and they're super deep.
Them in Utah.
Both.
Them in Utah, they just play well together. So,
okay, question for you as we're looking at the film. Which one of these players that is kind of a role player do you think could be an all-star on a different team?
Not Will Barton, who is very good to me. Not Gasol. Dennis Schroeder.
If he an all-star,
he has potential to be. I think Dennis Schroeder has potential to be an all-star. I think Michael Porter Jr. has potential to one day be an All-Star, especially if he gets away from Jokic and Jamal, because he's not gonna get more star power than them. There's no way.
Run that last clip. Yeah, run the last clip back.
Got it. All right, hold on. Wiggins.
Yep, right
Adem said Wiggins really impressed me. Struggled with his shooting early on. Started attacking the rim instead, then got his rhythm, but back. Wait, he said his rhythm back. Took some open jump shots and found his shot. Didn't know he had that discipline. So my fault, I'm reading like that. It's just the chat keeps going upwards. We're gonna go over Wiggins and the Warriors because it was some really good things that I thought that happened on the court yesterday, especially with Oubre. That's tough. So you told me to go backwards, right?
Yep, this clip right here.
All right.
Right. Yep, that's the one earlier.
Okay.
One more, a little earlier.
Oh, one more.
That was the clip. But
okay, my bad. All right, here we go.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so since I know we're gonna get into a little later talking about pick and rolls and stuff, freeze right there. So I've actually been breaking this down a lot with some of my players, where you kind of see how AD sets the screen on the left, right? And so the defensive player, is telling him screen left, screen left, screen left. So they jump to that side, and then AD does what's called a flip, where he changes the angle and really sets it on the right. So I think for younger players, this is one of the most important things to learn, is pretending to set a screen on one side, but really setting it on the other side.
Well, that also, and piggybacking off of what you're saying, that also allows the player to get downhill more so, especially if you think about like hedging and different things, because now they can't force you in one direction. If Millsap were to play up, or even if he plays back, then you could snake that. Now he ended up getting a bounce pass right there, but yeah. Flipping is, I love when people flip screen, but I need you to sprint to it, act like you're going to set it on one side, and then fake the other one. So I see a lot of, who does it really well? What's up, Wyatt? Who does it really well is DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan does it really well. It's tough.
I think it's amazing because it opens up so much opportunity on the roller as well, or the snake like you saw there.
Right. Okay, let's see what we got here.
When you teach spin moves, do you always tell your players to go off 2 feet, or are you okay with them going off 1?
I prefer it too, but I also nasty. This is what I'm talking about. Like, anyways, I teach 2, but I'm okay with 1 because 1 gets it up quicker. So it all depends, and that's a good question. It all depends the type of defender. If he's really good at getting up on and blocking your shot, you got to sneak it up. Just like I would teach the same thing. If you're trying to beat a big to the basket, you jump, like do the Nash leg, right hand, right foot, or left hand, left foot, because if you take those 1, 2, they have more time to time you at the basket, and the right or the Nash layups, you can just sneak it up there a little bit faster. So it all depends on the defender. That's the way I think about it.
Big time.
Pump fake Millsap.
We talked about this last time. Go back to that clip. And what bothers me the most is, and I wish younger players would learn more of this, but if this were, Steph Curry or me, I would look to throw a behind the back pass right then and there to Millsap.
Because it's on the fly, and a lot of times, people don't even see, like the guy guarding the ball, they don't even see the ball come out behind the back a lot of times, and it's like wide open, and then so now it gives Anthony Davis more time to recover because he retreated and then passed it, and so now he's there. Whereas he wouldn't even been there. He ended up getting a bucket anyway, but we're trying to get the easiest shot, not the toughest shot, right?
Yeah.
So that's just the way I look at it.
Either behind the back or a hook pass, but players just got to look back.
Well, something that's on the fly, yeah, you always got to look back. So did he do it right here? No, he didn't flip it. Yep. I'll give you one thing. He is a very, very good screener, though, Gasol. And he makes good reads off of it, too. Once he ends up getting that pocket pass and whatnot.
Oh, my God. Jokic is just a beautiful passer.
So talk about this action right there. Are they in the horn set? Yeah, they're in the horn set. So ball goes into the high post. Oh, okay.
Murray at the high post there.
I wonder if he broke off from that action, because a lot of times he'll just come off he'll set a screen and then come off a Jokic handoff. He ends up taking them down to the post. But that's why I like this type of offense where it's not geared to – you have different options. So say if he say if he decides to go down to the post, then everybody else will react off of that, which I thought was great.
Go back to that last one because it looks like they iced it when that crossover was nasty. That Jamal Murray one.
Was it this play? Have we seen this clip?
It was the one where he
next one, right?
Came out of the horns action.
Yeah. There was one right after this. All right, shit. So the ball goes right there. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yep, this one. So once he posts up and he pulls it out, then they go ball screen and the defense ices the ball screen.
Perfect.
Can you believe how the dude can't help off Michael Porter Jr. at all? How Kuzma can't help? Freeze.
Right there?
Yep, right here. Freeze. Okay, perfect. So my guess is Montrez called it ice because you see him dropping down to the block more.
Mm-hmm.
So for players who don't know what an ice is, you have the defender jumping on top, basically saying, no, you cannot use this screen.
Just what KCP does right there. Basically, all right,
go ahead.
So from what I understand is to keep him on this left side of the court, and if the pass were to be made, it would have to be a skip pass where we have more help in the lane and more help just on the right side in general. So, you allow him to get in and use that screen, which in effect, like, I don't know. I look at it different ways, but I like forcing, I like keeping people on one side. 1-on-1, 5-on-5, I push people towards the sidelines instead of letting them get all up in the middle and like wreak havoc and all that type of stuff. That's kind of when I found out that the defense breaks down once it gets towards the inside of the three-point line.
Absolutely. Go back to that play one more time because there's another piece about it on that same one. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy. When I learned this from Cody a few years back, and I'm watching, he was showing me a lot of screen defense.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching it, and I'm watching people switch. And then there's another category called a veer back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching the veer back. And I'm like, that's just a switch. It looks exactly the same. And so that's the first time I heard about it. When you go back to that screen with Murray and Jokic, Montrez ices it at the bottom. And then this is where guards can get super smart. So by him rejecting this and going so hard at Montrez
mm-hmm.
and so deep, they don't have time between Trez and KCP to switch back.
Nope.
They got forced to switch even though the play was not meant to switch. And that's what a veer back is.
Perfect. Great explanation. Forcing the switch.
Someone's asking if the guy guarding the big calls the ice or the guy being screened, or is it a communication thing? I have an answer. What do you think?
The big.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. The big calls that. Because, like, the thing about it is the guard doesn't even know sometimes when the screen is coming. So, and the big, the people on the back line, everybody should be calling for it, like letting them know the screen is coming. But the person that's guarding the screener knows that his guy is running to the screen. And so that's why I always encourage the screener sprinting to it, because the thing about it is a lot of times the guy guarding him is trailing. And that's when guards get a chance to get downhill.
Absolutely.
So that was their horn set right there. This is what I was talking about. Normally, so last time we saw Jamal go down to the post, right? Almost the same exact play. Now, and they're trying to make him. Kuz does not want him to come off that handoff. They know it's coming because they run it. I mean, they got to know. They played him in the playoffs here. This is the same exact team. Now he's coming off the handoff. Forced to switch again, right? Oh, tough. Nasty, bro. He forced to switch again, right? So he runs right at Hero.
Super.
Snatched him, dimed him. AD fell asleep, ball watching. He was in help, though. But honestly, that's just a good read by Michael Porter. Because one thing you want to do, sometimes people don't know what to do when they're in help side. So, when they're off ball. So sometimes it's just about, all right, knowing where the point guard or the ball handler is and then spacing out geared towards that. But a lot of times I tell people, watch what your man does. If he's in help, you might be able to go back door, or you might be able to slide over and to create a harder closeout or just an open shot for yourself. So little things like that, I think that'll help, when you don't know what to do when you don't have the ball.
So someone asked, is Montrell taught Montreal taught to call ice every time? And then of course, what are you looking for a screen? So no. At the it's funny at the high school level and the college level, depending on the college and how smart the players are, sometimes players on teams are taught to only do one thing every single time, like hard hedge it every single time, switch it every single time, because players aren't smart enough to make decisions. But oftentimes in the NBA, Montrez decided to ice it, or you can decide to fight over, or you can decide to fight underneath it based on who you're playing against. So if you're guarding Rondo or if you're guarding Rubio, 90% of the time you're just going to go under the screen and play drop coverage.
Right. I love LeBron's ability to look ahead. Like I watched Lonzo for a long time, and he was really good at this. But it's something that's undervalued in my opinion. Being able to immediately look up and find the advancing player. I like THT, man. I really feel like he's an excellent find for the Lakers. And, he's a type of player I don't think you can't get rid of him. Because he might be a star waiting to happen. That was another guy. He might be somebody look like tough, bro. Tough, nasty plays.
Oh, beautiful pickup on that.
Okay. And we're gonna actually have a top move session where we kind of go down the list and just check things out. And kind of break down some of the movements that we're seeing. We'll have a couple plays where we'll find out if it's a travel or not. So I know everybody loves being an Insta ref nowadays, but it's kind of funny seeing the whole thing. Excellent ball movement, tough hang time, long arms.
Love the footwork on that finish.
Yeah, he could play, man. All right, so look, let's talk about this action that's taking place right here. Michael Porter Williams, and the ball goes into Jokic. What do you feel about this timing on this play?
Beautiful. So if you go back to go back to the start of it, you can tell what they're looking for immediately. So what you have is a double wide pin down on the weak side
Which
for Michael
is
Porter
right
Jr.
here.
to curl it. So right there, you got two screens on the weak side for Michael Porter Jr. to get into a curl, and then so they're throwing it into the post. Perfect timing, honestly. Right to Jokic, and if the cut's there,
LeBron read that though. That was one of the best parts. He read that. He sees it a little bit late, but he read it pretty well.
So how would you space that better? Because there's an open gap earlier than when Jokic throws it.
So wait, what are you saying?
LeBron makes the play to read it, right? And then Kuzma makes the switch up top. But what happened with Caruso?
Okay, so Caruso, they're going to double. Right? He goes to
LeBron
double.
Makes the play and switches with Kuz.
They could have passed it to Will Barton.
Yeah.
He was like wide open. He was open too.
Both.
So you're saying how would you defend that? Because Caruso has to take the first pass out, but I think that Kuzma kind of got lost on that play, right?
No, look at THT.
Actually, no. He takes the right play. That was THT that ends up doubling. But see, that's the thing. Is there playing the double right there?
I wouldn't. Would you double it, Montrez on Jokic? I'm playing that 1-on-1.
Well, that's apparently what they wanted to do because they did it a few times that game. Exactly in that exact same situation too, and that puts him in a tough predicament because of what Will Barton did. And he cut through. Tough.
Are you more worried about Jokic's pass or his scoring ability?
It's almost like either way because no way. And we saw this already with the Clippers versus Denver. He cannot guard Jokic in the post. He's too small. But yeah, his passing is definitely something to be worried about. And it frustrates. I mean, you can literally see LeBron getting frustrated right there. Let's see. You see the hand? Like, that's how you know. Like, but either way, I still think it's unstoppable either way. I think that Jokic would have scored that either way, like if he gets a chance to back down him. And that's what makes him so special, in my opinion, because he could pass out of those situations. But we've seen it though. We've seen Trez cannot guard Jokic down there. He can't guard like guys that can score down low, nor can he protect the rim at a very high level. He could rebound the heck out the ball, but he's not protecting the rim.
Good point.
What was the play right there? I didn't get a chance. They kind of got it to tail end.
You can't see it, yeah.
This ability to look ahead.
I think the problem in the playoffs might be a little bit of the bigs and how healthy they can stay. Because last year that was a huge strength for us.
Right, 100%. I'm surprised they didn't get a bucket off of that. But that was good defense with Schroeder.
It's a good show by Schroeder.
Yeah, that was Schroeder that clogged that up. So anybody looking right, Schroeder blew this play up. Because if not, it's a 2-on-3 technically. Schroeder steps in and causes him to retreat. Even still, I don't know how much Jokic, I'm sorry, I don't know how much Jamal Murray was really trying to get downhill on that. But Jokic's not a lob threat. So he's not a lob threat at all.
This is just great overall defense.
It was. And it ended up with a jumper and a closeout to a jumper. But I thought that was pretty good, though.
And a mid-range jumper, too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So 3 versus mid-range. Analytics guys, what would you say about it? Oh, my gosh. Millsap looks small. Go ahead. I want to know your thoughts on that.
You're good. So I got to Lakers are my favorite team. I got to check the stats again. So what I know from prior when I looked at the stats, the points per possession on a layup are 1.28. The points per possession, points on a layup are 1.33. Points on a three-pointer are 1.28, and the points per possession on a mid-range are 1.18.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what that means is every single time that you attempt a layup, you have a good chance of getting at least one and a third points. Every time you shoot a 3, it's about the same thing, and every time you shoot a mid-range, it's dropped at least about like 10 decimal points. So the only way to fix this and to make the game allow you to shoot. Okay, hold on. Go backtrack one step. The problem with this, because there's a problem. The problem is now they let casuals shoot 3s. Just guys who shouldn't be shooting 3s. They let these dudes shoot 3s, and they encourage them to because it's a higher points value. So the way to fix it, if it needs to be fixed, is to make the court a little wider and push the 3-point line about a foot back, which will drop the analytics for the 3 and then raise the mid-range a little bit more.
Is that you think that would be the answer?
I think the best way to do it is to make the court a little wider for these guys because it is not wide enough. Look how
on the sideline, baseline sideline in the corner.
That's it.
It's not
a little wider.
It's too skinny over there. Listen, I try to watch all the games, and people think I'm crazy when I say this. It'll be like 15 times a night that somebody's stepping on that sideline in the corner. That was tough. Like 15 times a night, like all around in the NBA, and that's too many. And I think that they absolutely should move the sideline back, 100%. It'll open everything up, and we'll get it kind of takes away from the game when you keep getting guys. They can't load off the back foot when they're in the corner. You know what I mean?
Nope, there's no room there.
Like all they can do is it's hard to be explosive when you're in the corner. That was nasty. I love that.
Beautiful pass.
That was tough. All right. Anyways, so they got that game. The Lakers got that game. I thought they played a very well played game, especially towards the end. Let's go to some of the top plays that I thought were top plays. Draymond Green had an excellent game. Just finding everybody, but he kind of caught Luka right there. Got the and one. Banged out. You don't really see him getting up too much like that. Warriors played an excellent game. Just kind of going through some of the plays. We're going to go through their second half because I want to go over what Oubre did in particular. So that was a nasty dime. So what they're trying to do is not allow him. See how Richardson is playing over the top? They're trying not to allow him to use that screen and go into the 3. But Steph started countering that. And Oubre hasn't all the way picked up on this. So Oubre is supposed to come off of the screen, right? But you have to go through because if you don't go all the way through right immediately, then Tim Hardaway is just going to stay there, right? So it's pretty much like being able to guard 2 people. Now, he ends up going all the way through right there, but it's just the ability to be able to drop that dime and throw it through that gap, which was really tough. But that's how Steph tries to get him. He'll pretty much just seal you topside, and Draymond will throw that pass.
Beautiful dime. You would consider Draymond Green a really good passer, yeah?
He's an excellent passer. He's an excellent passer.
The only thing I don't get is why. I mean, I know he can't shoot, but I would still pressure him so he's not comfortable.
And people don't do that. And then a lot of times they don't play up on him so he's able to pass, right? He's able to get downhill. He's coming off the screen, or he's setting screens for Steph, but people aren't playing up that high, or they're doubling Steph, which allows him to play. But like from this position, you got to crawl into him. You have to, because he's such a good passer. It's like doing a 2-on-2 drill and you're setting pin down screens and you're the passer at the top. Nobody's guarding. It's so easy to drop dimes from that position. But like if somebody's guarding you with a hand up, it's a lot harder to make those passes. And
let's go back and see why he got open.
Okay.
But I definitely agree with that. Who is there? Who's on the elbow right now?
Kent Bazemore.
Okay.
He's kind of clogging it up, setting a pick and roll for him right there.
Yeah, I would never set a pick and roll right there for Draymond, especially in a direction where there's 4 other people.
So he's waiting for it. He knows it's coming, and Steph, reads it.
It's a simple backdoor.
Yeah, that's why they have some of the best chemistry that I've seen on a basketball court. Seriously, like those two have some of the best chemistry I've ever seen in basketball. Somebody else I put up there is John Stockton and Karl Malone. Who else? Steve Nash and Stoudemire.
Oh, that's the best.
All right, so this is a question I have. Is this a travel? Watching this full entirety.
Oof.
I go one more time. Everybody, let me know what you guys think. Was this a travel? So let's pay attention. I'll slow it down just so you guys can see. Ball still riding.
Nah, gather 1-2.
Technically, it's not a travel, right? Technically, it's not a travel because he hasn't closed off his dribble up to this point. Now he closes off the dribble, and now it's 1, 2, 3. So, like, the first one is a gather. So, technically, that's not a travel by the rule.
Most people drop the ball.
Right.
They get into that spin step.
Right, for sure.
Which is really weird.
So, sometimes I'm watching Dallas, and I don't know if I'm the only person who thinks this, but, like, it looks like Allen Iverson is playing out there. So, this was cold. Huh. See ya.
Oh.
Nasty, bro. It was nasty. See if I can get it. Has he? Sometimes it looks like Iverson is playing out there. He had another one that I couldn't find off top. I don't know why I couldn't find it, but he had another one that was pretty nasty. Who was this one?
It's an AI clone.
Oh, this was a cold move. Ingles was out of there.
Oh.
He was out of there. A little hang dribble. You want to talk about this one?
Who is this?
Huerter? How you say his last name?
Huerter?
Yeah, I always mess his last name up for some reason.
That was so clean, and the jump shot afterwards. Yeah,
he's got
Huerter.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful jumper, bro.
Hey, what do you think about Denny Avdia?
Denny could pass the ball, but he's not gonna get. He snatched him right back. He snatched him right. He could be really good, but I want to see him with the ball in his hands more. He's not gonna get the opportunity to do that with Washington. And he's like, I don't know. I like him, downhill and transition. He could be pretty good. He needs to work on his jumper a little bit. It's not bad. I like that spin move.
Good looking jumper for sure.
Yeah, I like how he sealed him right here with his body. Little baby hook at the end. It's a nice move.
I met Denny a few years back in Israel when I was training Johnny out there.
Yeah, he's good.
Johnny said that he's a pro.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't believe him at the time.
Because he's got a different game, but you got to just watch him. I thought that was a nasty dime. I want Morant to become more skilled. His game is like kind of wild, and he's a very good player. But there are certain situations I just feel like he can get better in. And then on his jumper. So his jumper is actually mechanically not bad at all. Can you talk about how this play opened up? I want to see him take more jumpers. I'm talking about John Morant. Talk about this play right here. So we're going slow.
This play?
Yep.
Okay. Freeze it right now.
Yep.
Who is number 14? I'm sorry. It's a little blurry on my side. But who's number 14?
Which team?
Black team right here.
Can't remember. I always forget his name.
That's fine. So he should be giving room for Brooks to get through, but he's basically setting a double screen.
Technically, yeah, he's setting a double screen.
he should be dropped way back down to give Brooks room to get through. And then what happens is you blow it up on that side.
Oh, he's caught. There, he it was a perfect screen by his teammate. It was a perfect screen. Perfect screen. He got jammed up right on his teammate.
You got to give room.
So how are you blowing this up? That's the main thing you're doing. You're opening up right there, right?
That's it. If you open up, you slide through the gap, and then he's got to pop out for a three. But then you close out, and you're good.
And I like what Houston did is they slid the guy on the opposite wing up a little bit towards the slot. So now it kind of pushed him in a weird position to help, right? Mm-hmm. And he's a little bit late, even though I still would have been a little bit lower than that. I'd have bumped him, been on the nail at least. Either way.
Yeah, but if the space was given, you don't even need that.
Absolutely. Eric Gordon is a player that, I don't think that he was used correctly in Houston when Harden was there. I think it was used a little bit better when Chris Paul was there, but he's a guy that I saw go off for 50. That was tough. A little double cross hezzy, double cross, fake pass, get out of here, throw it way up. But he's a guy that I saw go for 50 when Harden was out. And I think that D'Antoni probably could have got a little bit more out of Gordon, but he's like a flow guy. If he's touching the ball, he's gonna give you some buckets. All right, question to the chat. What do you do? Is this a foul? Because I was looking at this, and it was just like, what are you supposed to do? Like, he was in front of him. He initiated all the contact, and they called it off. They called a foul and one. So
in real speed, it looks like one, but in slow mo, he didn't do anything. What are they saying?
And one. It was foul.
Yeah.
And he's like, for me, it was like he was in front of him.
You don't consider this a push-off, do you? Because I would never call that a push-off.
Oh, no, I'm not calling it no offensive foul, but he initiated all the contact. And the guy that, for me, I like playing defense. So, for me, it's like, what do you do? Like, your chest is in front of him. And it clearly looks like he's just stronger than him. So, what I don't understand, what you're supposed to do in that situation. See what we
Nothing
get
you
right.
could do.
Is it Ja right here?
That's the second or third time. Who is 14? Whoever he is, that's like the second or third time I've seen him slipping a screen without actually looking.
He didn't even look at all. It might have been, who knows? We could have got something off of that, but he didn't even set it, nor did he look. Did Ja Morant wave him off?
Nope.
No, it was just nothing that happened.
I'm sure he wanted the screen.
See what we got here.
They said he beat him to the spot.
Okay, so there's another one. So, defensively, this is an and one. They called an and one on this. But, what do you do on these? And I'm asking, I just want to know, what you think. I'm not necessarily trying to be biased on it. What are you supposed to do? Is this a foul?
No.
It's not a foul. In my opinion, this isn't a foul. He initiated all the contact, and I'm not calling it an offensive foul, but he initiated literally everything that happened right here. You know what I mean?
Do you think you could change? Do you think you could change the way that they call fouls now in favor of the defense more, or is it over now? It's always going to be this way.
That was cold. I don't know. That's actually a really, really good question. But it's just that he slammed into him. NBA players are so good at this, bro. He slammed into him so hard, so it looks like a foul because he initiated all the contact. And what is PJ Tucker supposed to do? Just stop lifting? He can't help it. He's stronger than him. This was just cold. And I was talking to Sel about just being able to jelly and do these type of layups. You have to have a little bit of bounce. He takes this all the way over. So, maybe he was going to go off stride and bang this, but was that an and one? No, they didn't call an and one on that one. Just a tough play. So, I gave that a play. You know who's been shooting the ball better? Is John Wall.
Since we last talked.
Let's see what we get. This is a play that we had watched earlier.
He might have watched our stream.
I know, right?
We picked up some tips.
So, let's talk about what we're getting here. Is this flex?
Is it? Yeah, yeah, it is. I've never seen the screen get set from that
from that angle, right? Technically, it's a flex cut. So that normally they'll send it, and they could have sent it right there to Paul Millsap, but they ended up turning it into a handoff, right?
Okay, so probably one of the most important things ever is action to action, which, like in youth basketball, you see them say, okay, we're going to set the screen, look for this shot. But they never talk about set the screen, look for this shot. If that's not there, you curl this.
I know.
Look at this, you hand off here. After the handoff, you're setting a ball screen here. You space out here. Like the continuous action is probably the most important thing in basketball. It's under taught.
So it seems like this was supposed to go from a pin down, but it turned into a flex, right? You see that?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he comes off the handoff, which is great action because he was thinking, all right, so at this point, I know he was thinking backdoor, right? And then he kind of he takes him down. So how do you guard this? Because this is another situation with Gasol.
He can't even hedge it.
It's like, what do you do? And it puts everybody on the other side in just bad positioning. It's like, what do you do? Like, there's no resistance right there. And those are things that I worry about when I'm thinking about playoff time. But at the end of the day, we still got LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So I mean, and Schroeder too.
They're asking what a flex cut is. A flex cut's it's like a baseline screen to let you go down the baseline.
Okay, you'll see NBA has a lot of flex off. So this is horns, right? We talked about this. I thought it was just a really good move. These are some of the top plays that I had. So
yeah, this is the one with the ice.
Yep.
They ice it. They
gets a little busy.
Filthy step back.
A little hanging step back, ball hanging.
So the game's changed, right?
Yep.
Let's say 5-10 years ago, instead of this happening, should have 5 years ago, should Jamal Murray pull this out and throw it into Jokic with the mismatch?
Yes, that's what would have been required because you got the switch, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, see, this is why I tell everybody that the game has also evolved too. So the thing is, the second that you do that, you give the defense more time to set up and be able to guard that and talk it out, right? But also on top of that, the players are actually able to shoot better. So that percentage shot that he shot for Jamal Murray for that amount of space, for me, that's just as, that's just as high as a percentage shot as the other one. Mm-hmm. Being that he might have got doubled if we would have focused on the switch and kind of waited that out and watched them go to the low post. So these are
Johnny was telling me the post up is probably one of the lowest percentage shots in the game now.
Is it really?
That's what he told me.
So Johnny was
I didn't look up no stats on it, but he told me from all the coaches and people that he played with, like oftentimes they don't like throwing it into the low block for like a post up score. Pretty
interesting actually to think about all that stuff. Now, something that I wanted to get into, and I'm not really gonna go over what you call its offense, Dallas, because they lost. And I'm a Golden State fan, so I'm not going over their offense until the fourth quarter. What I will do is go over Golden State's because honestly, I feel that a lot of people could learn from this. Because I've been watching them for years, bro. I feel like so many people could run this offense and be super effective, but it's not a lot of people that do. Simple split cuts, little split cuts. Like there's so many things that are open off of this. But watching this will teach you guys how to get open. And then on top of that, I want to use Kelly Oubre. So before we even jump into this film, I want to say this. Kelly Oubre, I've been very, very critical of his play. And not just trying to bash him, but he just sucked. He sucked. For the most part of this year, he sucked on offense. Historically, he shot the worst that we have ever seen for a player that shot as many shots that he shot. And that was to start off with. He was forcing shots up. He looked completely lost. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. But there's something to be said about his approach every game, right? Every game he would bring energy defensively. And sometimes it's not about what's going on, like what you can't do, it's what you can. Like not all the times do your shots fall, but it's about bringing effort. And so for me watching that, I got to applaud Kelly Oubre for always just sticking with it, and he kept shooting. And one of my favorite things, and you know this very well, you got a shirt that says it. What do shooters do? What do shooters do, Ryan?
What do shooters shoot?
They shoot. They shoot. And when you really believe in your shot, you're going to keep shooting. That's just the way it is. His biggest problem is he didn't know how to move without the ball. And when you're playing with Steph and you're playing with Draymond, you have to be able to move. And it's not even just, Golden State system. It's just basketball. It's just basketball. Be able to make reads when you set screens. Go ahead, Ryan.
That breaks off of this. Braun had mentioned it, and if you agree, I 100% agree. I think basketball IQ is horribly low, even in the professional level.
It is 100%. And you know who's a perfect example of that? And it's not me trying to bash him because it's getting better. It's we're echoing. It's It's Oubre. He's starting to get better. He's beginning to become a better basketball player. And I'm seeing the same thing with Wiggins. Wiggins is probably, for me, watching Wiggins for so long, Wiggins is having his best year in terms of just high IQ like play. And so, I'm seeing, and normally a lot of guys come to the squad and they end up like learning how to play basketball. I see it over and over. And some teams, they are not playing high IQ basketball at all.
Okay.
At all.
Highest IQ teams: Warriors, Spurs. Who else?
Denver, Utah.
Toronto. Agreed.
Lowest
IQ teams.
All right, that's gonna get me in trouble because a lot of people watch these streams. There's some NBA players watching it right now, so I'm gonna chill on that. But it's a lot of them though. I'll let you go because I know you got something in mind.
On lowest IQ teams?
Yeah, lowest IQ teams. Forget it. I don't care. Minnesota. Yep.
Okay.
Anthony Edwards has to get out of there.
You think so?
He has to get out of there.
Houston's obviously a lot different right now. I just didn't like their play style with ISO ball.
I hated it. But they did move the ball after, they came out of all these ISOs and stuff. They did move the ball really well. Get banged on, Luka.
All I think is if you run more horns, you get more pin downs. If you run more ram screens so they can't help, obviously you can get switches and things now, depending on what teams. You do more split action, and you just move without the ball. Like, look how beautiful that is, and you make the extra passes.
The goal is to get the most easy shot. I don't know why I just skipped out of all that, but I went backwards. All right, let's see. Where were we at? We were about. Oh yeah, there it is. So just being in the correct place to get an open shot like that, right? But it's fun to watch, right? So everybody's doubling down. Look how much attention is on Steph right here. Like 3 guys immediately jump to Steph. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so now and this is, Ryan, this is why I swear by shooting. I swear by it because it opens the floor completely up. And so now, when that happens, when you got 3 guys worried about one person, now Draymond is able to get active. And now the shooters, everybody just went with Draymond because he's attacking with speed, but he's already seeing what's open because if everybody was on that right side, what's open? The weak side, right?
If the block man steps up, you throw that one more to the corner.
But check this out, though. Look how open he was. And they just watched him. But you know whose rotation that was? Luka. And then on top of that, Finney Smith didn't even he went completely with Steph. The ball scores, not somebody without the ball. But I want you guys to pay attention to how Oubre was making, he wasn't forcing anything up. He really was. He had a couple plays where he did, but for the most part, he didn't really force anything up. Tough right there. So we talked about this, just peeking back at that roller, right?
Yes.
Kind of sets everything up. Oh. So now you look at what Porzingis did. Jab, get back. Now he's out of position. Easy.
What are your first 3 reads coming off a screen?
I'm looking back at the roller. Actually, the first thing I'm trying to do is score.
Okay, number 1, I agree.
Yeah, then I'm looking at the roller, then I'm looking at the lift. But to be honest with you, though, as I'm coming off scoring, I'm not worried about the big that's in front of me. I'm seeing where the help side is, too. Once I establish, the big is right in front of me, I know the pocket is open.
Yeah.
you know? And then on top of that, now it's like, okay, what is the help side doing? Because then the lift pass will be, okay, so see, this is what I was talking about. Draymond, right? Draymond is not a threat to shoot a three. So Porzingis plays off. But here's the problem with that, though. So now he has wide open range to just get downhill. Steph Curry. Makes it easy. And now he didn't even really get what he could have got off of that, but he's long enough to challenge it. But even still, you know, it opens up everything because now Tim Hardaway has the drop right here. Kelly Oubre wide open. And this is the shot that Warriors fans have been waiting for him to hit right here. And he just hasn't been hitting it. But he hit it right here. But I will point this out. Something I always notice with Kelly Oubre's jumper, right? Look how far out his left foot is. So his body naturally, so that foot is kind of like a kickstand. It'll push him back to the right. So what I teach a lot of times with shooters, yeah, you could turn your feet, but you want to get your feet under your hips, under your shoulders, so that you don't have like a lean to it. So like his momentum is mostly carrying him to the left. Now he has to compensate by when he jumps to the right, he has to compensate by shooting back to the left. So he kind of does a fairly good job of going straight up and down. But even still, like, you know, that leg out it'll affect your shot a little bit more than having your feet right under you. Okay, so where we get here? Let's just watch the action.
On that last play.
There it is again. Huh?
I said on the last play, I don't know why Timmy helped.
He didn't necessarily have to.
Draymond didn't roll on the last one.
No, not at all.
It's okay.
Now he's able to get downhill, jump into his body. Steph does an excellent job. Not a lot of people realize how good his finishing package is, but he does an excellent job of going into the body, right? And preventing you from jumping in the first place. But if you don't really play this and do this basketball thing, you won't understand that how much work it takes to be able to finish on the outside like this after you taking a bump. You have to work on this type of stuff.
I was teaching it to a player on Wednesday of last week because some players will jump in with, like Kyrie will jump up with the ball extended to the rim and kind of hit you more with his ribs.
Yep.
But Curry will extend it more and hit you more with his hip.
Yep. Let's see.
Which I actually think is harder.
It is harder to me. All right, so there it is. Double, right? We could talk about this whole action. I'll let you break that down.
That's fine. You got to go from the top.
Okay, so you said what?
I said you just got to start it over, and then we can run. And then you can kind of see where everything develops from.
All right.
So it always Curry's best at setting screens before he starts anything. Right. So what he's doing, he's pretending to set the screen, and then dude runs away from it, which already puts all defenders in a bad position because they're trying to help and communicate on the screen. But
I'll stop it even after that. So you remember the play I was talking about with Oubre and that he has to go through, like on the other play, he was number 15 and Tim Hardaway ended up helping out. And remember, they're going to try to, normally this happens to where he's going to come off a Juan Toscano screen. And Jalen Brunson doesn't want him to use that screen. So Draymond will normally and Steph Curry almost gets it right here. If he would have threw it, it would have been wide open. You see that?
Yeah.
So that pass could have came right there. So anyways, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I see exactly what you're talking about. Right down the middle. But the swing didn't, the swing happened instead. So he looks to pop out. He's like, nah, nothing's there. And then look how beautiful that communication is for, you said that's Juan up there?
No, Juan has the ball. Michael Motor is on the other side, and I think you're talking about him signaling for that double, right?
For the double, he comes up and sets a perfect angle for the double.
But see, this is stuff that we saw. This is old school Warriors. This is what they used to play like, and they used to do stuff, and it takes a while to build this type of chemistry. Now, for those guys that are setting on screen, they have to immediately look to slip, or one of them does.
Look at the angle of 26's first screen and then the second screen he set. So he sets
that's Kent Bazemore
as the low guy, jumps back and sets another one as the high guy.
As the high guy, yep. And we're gonna see a couple of those plays. There it is. I mean, look at Dwight Powell. And all this, I want to say this front and center. All this happens because they don't respect Draymond as a shooter. And so now Dwight Powell is standing at the free throw line, and it allows Steph Curry to completely get downhill and walk into a 3-point jumper.
That's crazy that it helps him so much.
I know, not being able to shoot, it actually helps him in this situation, which, you know, it's kind of wild, but it was in transition too. So see what they get out of here. I'm gonna skip ahead. All right, here we go. So this is classic Warrior stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So normally Steph is gonna come off of this. I wanna make this very clear too. This isn't even really a play. This is just playing basketball. So Steph walks down.
You can call that zipper.
Right. Yep.
Ball screen.
So that was a read on Kent Bazemore. Because he was planning on setting that screen for Steph, and boom, he just flashed to the basket.
But look how easy it is for Draymond to make his passes because no one's guarding him.
Nobody's guarding him. It's so easy to do that. Easy. And you know what? This type of shot is wide open. I'm cool with it. Like, he backed up completely off. He's building confidence. I'm cool with that. Okay, that was off. Oh, he made that. Okay, let's see. We didn't really show that play. All right, moving on. So we're in the second quarter.
Transition.
Not mad at
it. How do you like that deep ball screen right there in the middle of the paint?
It's weird.
Yeah.
it's really weird. You don't see it that often at all. I can't think of anybody else that you see it for off top.
Only in transition.
Just good ball movement.
Pin down. Pockets open. Kristaps has to help. Everyone's rotating. That's the hardest part about basketball is having to rotate and guard at the same time.
Right. And so with Oubre, if he just works on attacking closeout all year and then taking open shots and then, reacting off of the screens that he sets and having Steph as a decoy, he's going to play really well all year. He really will. This is a play, clears out to the opposite side. This is just good action right there. Good screen. Comes off it. Could have passed it to Draymond, which Draymond would have looked to the opposite side after when he got the ball, shot a floater. But now Porzingis kind of in no man's land because he didn't necessarily step up. Now the first person to pass out should be on Tim Hardaway, but it ends up being Porzingis because he was like in no man's land. Now he's done. Close out. So now this is different. This is different than when he has a guy on him already and he's sticking with him. Now he's attacking downhill at defense that's out of position. Go ahead, bro.
Wait, don't move yet. You moved.
My bad. I'm gonna go back.
Get back there. Okay, so he's no man's land. Pass gets on freeze. Is Draymond setting a hammer?
I mean, he could have because Damian Lee would have been wide open.
Is that what they're looking to do? Because Damian's spacing out to that corner, so it's like.
I don't think that was his intention. But Damian Lee did.
I wouldn't put it past him.
See, I texted Damian Lee today, and I told him, like, his off-the-ball movement is really going to help the second squad gel. And so, see, that play right there, those plays are going to start opening up for them because other players are going to start looking for it. And passing the ball becomes contagious. It really does. And so when one player starts doing it, then more players start doing it. You'll start seeing Kent Bazemore pass the ball, kind of how Draymond Green is in certain. Oh, that's just sorry. Literally no help side at all, too. And look, everybody's so worried about Steph and the screen, a ball screen that will happen right here. I think that was about to be a Ram screen. Ryan, you mentioned Ram screen. I'm pretty sure a lot of people on here don't know what a Ram screen is. So can you talk us through that?
Yeah, so the way I've seen it is a Ram screen is a down screen, meaning that, let's say, the shooting guard will typically set a down screen, not to help you get open, but instead for you to go set a ball screen. So when the ball screen is set, now it's 1-on-2, and there's nobody that can come and help.
Correct. See what they get out of here. Okay, so this is all right. From the jump start of the season, if you're a real Warriors fan, you would have been seeing this stuff. He would have shot this early on in the season. A couple games ago, actually. He would have shot this. But it's patient, and I teach this to players. Jump stop, pivot, read the play, because now you got two guys on you. makes the pass. Now you got to relocate. Now it takes a little bit long to relocate because you want to open up the lane for a guy like Damian Lee to attack. But, the fact that he even decided to make that pass in the first place and be under control, it's helping them. It helped them in this game. And I don't want to get too excited because, I just wanted to see him keep doing that. That was the player we were talking about earlier.
Go back to that. Go back to the last one to Kelly. Where would you relocate there? Because there's a few options off this. If you go back right there, freeze. So, yeah, you got to go back to right when the pass happens.
Oh, my bad.
You're good. Right now, freeze. Oh, okay, now. Okay.
Right here?
Where would you relocate? Would you set a back screen for Draymond? Would you set a back screen for?
Well, there's a number of things you could do.
Clay or Steph.
Well, I'm looking at Steph. I'm looking at Steph mainly. But if you set that back screen for Draymond, they might just switch it. But if they don't, Draymond would be wide open. What were you thinking?
I would not want to go closer to the ball, so I wouldn't go to Draymond. I would
go away towards Wiggins.
A curl for Curry to curl it, and then hopefully, at least we're out of the way if Damian decides to drive because we spaced. Or if he doesn't decide to drive, hopefully Curry can space through the middle and then get out to the corner on the other side.
I agree. And then because that takes either way, I want to take Luka out the equation. I want to take the help side out the equation. So I ended up getting a bucket out of that, but the fact that he stopped and made that play is something that wasn't happening. So that was the play. We already broke down that play. So it's just good offense, like half court offense. It was a lot of good stuff. Did he lose his bounce?
Who?
Wiggins. Because, his mixtape or his hoop mixtape was crazy. It really was. It was like something out of out of this world. And he kind of stopped banging out like how he used to. Okay, so this is the play. I'm gonna let you watch it and you can break it down. I'm gonna say what I gotta say after you. But here's the play. Because I was screaming, dying, looking at this play over and over and earlier in the season, and they would not do it, bro. I was getting so hot. And I was taking it to Twitter, so some of y'all gonna know what I'm talking about.
Okay. I'm looking at it. Do you like that play?
All right, so hold on. Even with Kelly Oubre's 40-point game, do you guys think that the Warriors move from Oubre and get someone to space the floor more? Here's the thing. I believe that Oubre can shoot. I believe in Kerr, most importantly, and his ability to work with guys and be patient with guys and develop players. And so it's all about keeping guys confident, right? And the thing is, what the Warriors never stopped doing is passing it to him when he was open consistently, right? I've seen sometimes they didn't because he just wasn't having a good game. But if you take Oubre away from it, you lose a little bit of length on defense. So I'm in this position. I'm giving him some more time. We got some time before we actually need to make some moves. If he can continue to develop and make reads and get out of the way when he needs to or cut when he needs to, I'm keeping him. But he's 3-and-D. He for other teams he has been 3-and-D. And he's a good slasher. Every game he dunks on somebody. So, but all right, so I'll talk. Did I go too far back?
No, yeah, go more back. Okay, start over.
All the way over?
I don't know what was going on the weak side. Because on the weak side, it looks like Oubre was trying to set a pin down and then decided not to set a pin down, and then two guys cut to the strong side.
Okay, so this is not a play, first and foremost. The spacing is bad on Bazemore's part, in my opinion. Because he takes away.
I just don't know why two guys cut to the strong side.
Yeah, me either. So normally Curry will set this for Juan Toscano to go to the outside. The ball will go back to Draymond. And so you see this, they do this all the time. If you watch Warriors, you have seen this so many times. Steph is pointing back to the top to pass it to Draymond so they can switch right back. And so with Juan Toscano, this is why I like Juan Toscano. He sets two screens. Technically, it's a moving screen, but they let you get away with all this type of stuff. Yeah. So he rams Jalen. He goes into Jalen's way. And so Jalen's worried about, okay, where is he going? And then he steps into this guy's way right here, which allows for the screen. And a lot of time, and I have a bunch of clips of Oubre in the same position. He would not move, but Toscano is good at moving without the ball. And I actually saw Oubre, and I'm not trying to come down on Oubre because he did it a few times too. So, this is the play. That's what I was waiting for. Bazemore is out of position though, so Bazemore,
screening your own man is elite though.
Right, and that's exactly what he did in that play. I thought that was excellent. Oh, I'm going backwards on my bad.
Or using your man as an extra screen is elite.
Absolutely. Steph is one of the first people I've seen that uses the other team to screen for him.
It's amazing.
There we go again.
That's Steph's gravity.
It's gravity and it's reads, right? It's gravity and it's reads. So screening, like knowing that they're trying to switch, slips are wide open, right? And then when you have the best shooter of all times, that's what I'm saying. With Oubre and Wiggins, they should be eating off of this. But you got a guy like Draymond that can pass the ball and make these passes, right? Just like that was a perfect pass.
And okay, go back. Something super underrated. Okay. Let it play out. You're good. Look at the weak side. So freeze right now. Normally, when people are on the weak side and they're watching action, who's this? Kelly and Toscano, right? Mm-hmm. Most people, right, especially younger players, will just stand there and watch. So play and watch what these guys do. So they switch and they interchange.
It just keeps them busy. So, it keeps the help side.
Exactly. It keeps Luka and Porzingis busy, and they can't help.
I thought that was excellent, low key. But what's funny is it's just like the ball scores, not the weak side guys that don't have the ball,
Oh yeah.
And so they're just stuck ball watching. It's just like I don't know. It's tough. They really had both teams played terrible defensively. I thought the Warriors picked it up later in the game. See what Oubre is gonna give us down here. All right, so right off top, ball in the mid-post, split action, right? I thought that was great. Because a lot of times he was looking to attack. A lot more patient. Now, that's when we get into split action. Oubre is going to probably go to that back door. What do you say, Ryan?
I figured he would dive after he said it. That's just an Oubre thing.
Boom. He ended up, because of that action, it allowed Draymond to just pretty much play one-on-one and back him down. And look, nobody helps. Nobody. And so this is stuff that we were seeing all day long with the classic Warriors. So even if you're not a Warrior fan, I highly recommend just watching this. I wish they would have showed this play. This is a nasty behind-the-back pass.
I see it.
On the money.
I would love to see the stats on how contested the Warriors' shots are versus other teams.
Me too.
Like how open their shots are versus other teams. And I guess what you consider a contested, but
nasty move. No help. But the floor. So now, this is what it is, right? We have such good ball movement. Now it's decreasing from the help side for the other team. Not to worry about Oubre making 3-pointers. Not to worry about because Wiggins started heating up that you're able to do this type of stuff. You know what I mean?
There are 0 players in the paint other than Kristaps.
It's terrible defense. Draymond blows that up, stopping short.
Okay,
forcing him to throw a tough pass.
This is just like a big man read that I would love to see Kristaps make. I would love to see Kristaps, instead of rolling, turn that into a screen.
On who?
On Toscano, and then look to
yep. And then Kleber's wide open.
Exactly.
Luka didn't deliver that, but who blew that up? Because it's a play that 9 times out of 10 I think that Luka would make. It's just that Draymond, boom, blows it up. And then Toscano kind of helped out, but that would leave Kleber wide open if they were to. Yeah, he still should have made that delivery for that pass, though.
Right? I mean, the both sides were open, but if he would have just set a screen, you reverse pivot, hit the shooter, catch and shoot.
So tough. Like, just playing without the ball, getting wide open shots, like easy stuff like that, right? This is something that we haven't seen from Oubre. We haven't seen it all year, and he was just, for whatever reason today, he was super patient. He was knocking down shots. He was attacking closeouts. He almost had Steph out of there on that step back. He missed it though. But
What players would benefit the most from learning how to slow down?
I don't know. I don't have anybody in mind right off top.
That would benefit from slowing down? You don't think John Morant or Russell Westbrook?
No, Westbrook, for sure, Westbrook.
You think if you play with Chris Paul, he can learn to slow down?
Who?
Westbrook.
He would have to because Westbrook or CP3 plays a little bit slower. He got that old man game.
Yeah.
Here we go. So I like this. Patient, comes off the screen. Now, this would have behind the back, or he ends up throwing a pocket pass, but he could have threw either one. Because, like, he had a wide open behind the back pass right there, or a hook pass, whatever. So now, instead of just going right off top, he's finding the open guy. Boom. And then perfect weak side dive, right? Toscano coming through. Look at Porzingis. Yeah. Look at Porzingis.
You and I both saw Toscano's cut before it even happened.
Yep.
So that's that D Wade cut.
Yep, 100%. He would dunk on people off of that type of stuff.
Iverson cut.
That's Wiggins, right?
Yep.
So if you guys don't, or go ahead and break down what Iverson cut is for us.
Iverson cut is wing to wing. So Wiggins is on the right wing, cuts straight through the middle to the left wing.
Okay, perfect. This is great ball movement, bro. Like, this is like a clinic.
All teams don't try to do this.
I don't either. I can't understand it for the life of me. It's like stuff that it doesn't take like you to have Steph to be able to, can you imagine? Just take a minute for a second to just imagine. Can you imagine Portland running this type of offense?
Be so easy.
Because Nurkic could pass. Enes Kanter is actually not that bad of a passer from a pick and roll standpoint. You know, and so, like, I don't understand why more teams don't do this. Look at this backscreen by Steph. And so, if this lob wasn't thrown, this is Steph coming off a handoff right here.
Exactly.
But that's one of his best attributes is screening. I'm talking about Steph.
Good shooters need to become great screeners.
Because the better that you set a screen, the more open that you become.
100%.
If you open somebody else back up.
Oh, did they just run the same play? I thought we were looking at the same clip. Did they just run the same play?
So Draymond ends up Draymond ends up passing it. So now it's a closeout, boom, tacking to the basket, no help side. This is terrible defense. Defense.
I thought that was gonna be the old play. That was the same play.
But it's so hard to stop this type of offense. It really arcade mid post split cut, right?
Yep. That was just a terrible screen.
He didn't set it. But it's like, look, so like I'm wondering how much they're coaching them on that type of stuff. Like, yo, like, if you set the screen, you'll be a little bit more open. When you set the screen, Steph's coming off, look to slip or look to pop or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You know, because Steph is good from both situations.
I'd look to switch that screen immediately.
They should have.
I'll leave Draymond in the post one-on-one.
Absolutely. And Draymond's looking to pass this most of the time.
That was some of the worst helps I've ever seen.
This is sorry defense. Like, I'm gonna just say it straight up. Like, it shouldn't be this easy. Teams like the Clippers.
Dallas is 29th in defensive ranking, apparently.
Teams like the Clippers, they have more opportunities to switch everything. So it kind of blows a lot of this stuff up, which I see a lot. Excellent play. Excellent play to just look up. All right, so where is the confusion here? Oh, Luka's just.
With who's guarding Steph? Why is Luka and
I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's just This is crazy, bro. This is crazy. They're not. It doesn't even look like they're communicating on defense at all.
Flare.
All right, let's talk about what a flare is for those people who don't know.
So Steph is on the side that is closer to the ball, and he gets a screen that sends him away from the ball.
No, that's Michael Motor.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Excuse me, Michael. My fault. But yes, he is looking to go away from the ball, catch and shoot this right now. He almost took the ball away from him.
I know, right?
My fault. I just seen Steph come off so many cuts. I said Steph immediately.
Bro, this is like crazy good basketball. So this zipper into the handoff creates a 2-on-3. Pay attention. So why is it a 2-on-3? So check it out. So now Steph, actually it's a 2-on-1. So Draymond, they ended up doubling Steph. So now it's a 2-on-1 because Jalen Brunson has to make a decision. Am I going to take away the dunk or the three? And that's why it's so good to have a guy that can shoot like Steph because the gravity, 2 people on 1. Boom. Now it's just like wide open play. And Luka, look at Luka.
What do you do there? Do you take away the dunk? Because no one's rotating.
Well, so the thing is, this is how I look at it. And it's tough to do, but after this goes through, you pass Steph off to Dwight Powell.
Yep.
And the guy guarding Steph, who is Jason Richardson, once this pass is made, he immediately has a beeline over to the corner. Because if he doesn't, because that just puts Jalen Brunson in such a terrible position. Because now, like, Jalen Brunson has to commit. He has to because the ball scores, right? Would you rather give up an open 2 or an open 3? And I always, like, think about it.
100%. I'd give up the open 3.
You give up the open 3 because at the end of the day, an open layup is a lot higher percentage than an open 3 is, right?
And points per value because it's open.
Exactly. It's open. So you have to commit if you're Jalen Brunson because he ends up, what is he running towards? You know, like, where's he going? This is, little stuff, seeing this, they're not outscoring people like this. Like talking about Dallas. If they can't defend, they're not going to make the playoffs.
The amount of misdirection in this play is amazing. Run that back. That's insane. So they start by pretending to go set a double pin down, and Draymond just comes back to the ball.
Okay, is it right here?
No, you missed it.
No, I went back. I want to go
this
back.
one right here.
All right, so here we go. So he's going down.
He pretends to go set the double pin down, and then just runs back to the ball. Fakes a handoff, drives, gets a ball screen into a handoff, and then dude slips it on the other side.
Is this basketball? It's basketball, bro. But at the same, this is why I was so, and people gave me a hard time on this, right? I was so big on the Clippers were losing in the playoffs because they didn't have that much. And I'm talking about what was the Clippers with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin? What was their nickname?
The
Lob City. They were running pick and rolls off top every time, and there was no action going into these pick and rolls. There wasn't that much action going into the handoffs. So when you have a lot of movement before you go into this stuff, it leads to not necessarily mismatches, yes, but it leads to advantages. I'll put it like that.
Defensively, it's so easy to guard because you're already preset and saying, okay, we're just going to hedge it.
Right.
We'll blitz it. We'll do this. But if you have to run through 3 handoffs and 4 pin downs prior to the ball screen, good luck when that ball screen comes around.
That's what I'm saying. And so having all this movement, you're able to get so when a ball screen, or so say if you start weaving into a pick and roll. So now like the guy's normally late on that pick and roll trying to guard it and step up and hedge or whatever he has to do. And now you're able to get downhill more. But with the Clippers, they didn't have no movement going into it. He just bodies Luka. I know he was pissed because look how he reacted.
Let's good question for you here. Now, Lob City, who was their coach?
Doc Rivers.
Okay, Doc Rivers. Now, do you think that was Doc Rivers' decision to do that? Or do you think him personally, or do you think he decided to do that because maybe some of the players weren't smart enough to get into other action?
That's a good question, bro. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. So and if you're watching, please give a thumbs up. Make sure you guys follow R2B Ball on his channel on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. You're not on Twitter right now. I think they banned you, right?
We get that back.
I think they banned him from Twitter. But, okay, I'll give you this. So, how can I put this? With Doc Rivers, or with Kerr. So it doesn't matter who comes in. This is the system that we're running. You got to learn it, right?
Same with Popovich.
Same thing with Popovich. So in my opinion, it's more on Doc. You can't. I understand adjusting the personnel, but more what I understand is teaching over 82 games leading into the playoffs. So like everything leading into the playoffs is geared towards helping you when you get there. So if you're not teaching guys before you get there, and just trying to stay on their strengths, which hasn't won you a championship for your current squad, then why keep doing the same thing? So my thing, it was the actions. It was on the coach, not really teaching these guys up. And that's my honest opinion about it. What would you say about it?
Yeah, I mean, 100% agree. I think Doc should have just, forced them to learn how to play basketball the right way. But does that start at the youth level? Does that start at the college level? Where does that start? Because if I told you,
it starts at the youth levels
right now, that I need a player to come off a wide pin down, come off a zipper, come off an Iverson cut, go through a UCLA cut, do a Duke cut, come off a DHO, slip a screen, set a brush screen, all these terms.
All right.
I can guarantee,
So I'm going to say this. And I'm actually super happy that you said that. So there's a podcast with JJ Redick, and he's talking to Dame Little. A lot of you guys may have saw that. But the thing with Dame, he was talking about, he said, I kind of struggled when I first got in the league, but I started, everything started making sense when I learned the terminology. So like when people start saying certain things, even on defense, he knew what was coming. You know what I mean? And so hearing that type of stuff and knowing the terminology, that's why inside the academy I have like what's called a basketball dictionary. And so I'll try to focus on just like knowing what a DHO is, or knowing what a UCLA cut is, or knowing the options are for pin down, this, that, and the other. Because once you do that, it really doesn't matter who you're playing with. You can do this with anybody. Anybody can go ISO at any given second, but a lot of people don't think that you can come off a pick and roll and make the correct reads unless you guys have plays. No, basketball is basketball. A drag screen. How much it's drag screen. It's basketball, bro. It's so easy to come off from transitioning from one side of the court to the other and telling your big, hey, send me a drag, or just send me a pick. And when you get down the court, you cross half court, or when you're at the box and I'm crossing half court, sprint up here and set me a screen. So little things like that, once you tell them this stuff, now everything starts to open up, And so I think that it starts when you're young, especially in the high school level. But the thing is this, some of the better coaches are not at the high school level. They're the higher that you go. And so that's why I value, we need to put the correct people teaching this stuff. We need to put the correct people teaching basketball at high school. It's funny because we've been having this step-through conversation, right? Jumping off of one leg. And everybody says, I wasn't taught that way. Well, where'd you learn to play basketball? Well, I was at the YMCA. So where did that guy that was teaching you tell you that? Where level did he play at? Well, I don't know. And so, you're getting people, we're learning from, and me, it was me too. I'm learning from guys that didn't necessarily, I'm learning from guys at the park they have been, and this and that. Not necessarily from people who absolutely know the game. So if you don't have a high level of coaching at the high school level, you go into college not having a clue what you're doing. And so when they start throwing, and the higher level that you play at from basketball, right? Let me explain this very well. The higher level that you go, the less that the more you're going to be expected to know, and the less you're going to be coached. And so when you run into certain teams, they just think you know it. And if you're not able to mesh into the system that they're trying to run, you're out the league in 3 years. The average lifespan for basketball in the NBA is 4 years. 4 years and out.
Someone was saying you don't need all this stuff, but
what?
It's not about
who said
basketball.
That? Who said that?
Someone in the chat was like,
then they don't know.
Simplify the game.
I'll say it right off top. You don't know what you're talking about then.
Exactly. What is simple basketball? You're just labeling it. Okay, I want you to set a screen for me all the way at the top. Okay, that's a drag screen. I need you to set a screen for me as I run through the baseline. Okay, that's a flex, cross screen. I need you to set a screen, but don't actually set it hard. Okay, so set a brush. That's all it is.
That's it.
Just because you're putting a name to it, don't mean that you're adding more things.
Okay,
but here's my thing. I think there should be 5-on-5 basketball at the recreational level. Should be playing 3-on-3. Get more touches, learn how to play, and then as they get a little bit older, take the emphasis away from winning and go in tournaments and games and leagues and all this stuff and focus more on teaching the game and developing.
You're almost describing European
Exactly.
certain programs that I've seen in Europe do this is exactly what you're saying. But I want you to take a look at this split cut that was
Okay.
wide open. Watch this.
You could have shoot. Look at the help on the cut.
There's nobody there, bro. He could have dimed that.
That's what I'm saying.
but that's part of like building chemistry and being patient. I would have liked for him to be in the mid post right there instead of being on that corner.
On the corner.
Yeah, so I'd have rather him be in the mid post, so that pass could have been a little bit easier. It's the patience of telling Lee to wait for him to go down to that mid post, waving him to get down there. Boom. So now you're wide open when you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And plus, Juan Toscano ended up making that, pass a little bit too early instead of looking for the option. You have to look for these little options. Then go into another action. Action to action, what you just described. Snatch back. Hey, okay. See, now it's okay. Well, like when you're starting to get all this little stuff, now you're starting to pick up on these little things, right? And now you can get into, situations where you can learn how to incorporate your ISO game to it. Your movements, your moves, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Once the ball's moved around and we attempted to get a good look, go for it. ISO then. Now we'll get out your way. You got 5 seconds to work.
Right. And so a few games ago, this would have went up. And to a certain extent, Oubre still lost. Like, watch. Like, look at him. Just watch him throughout this whole play. He's still kind of lost.
Kind of shallow cuts it. That should be a ball screen right there.
See? And he ends up kind of setting something. And okay, he got back out. But pay attention. It's still patient now. So, like, okay, everybody's already set in help side. So, let me just get the ball back. Let's try to get an easy shot. Ends up getting a closeout three-pointer from a shooter.
Why does he keep doing these shallow cuts?
I don't know. He's lost. I told you he's lost, bro.
He was wide open. He just
like no, like watch him right
wide
here.
Open. Look,
he doesn't know, bro. He's like lost, but at the same time, bro, like you get everybody's getting better at their own pace.
Oh yeah.
Everybody gets better at what the hell is the defense doing, bro?
They're in the zone.
Okay. I got it now. I got it.
Yeah. That's why he was wide open. I was confused too. That's why they're doing the shallow cuts. I get it now.
Pass fakes. Getting into the middle. Pass fakes, right? So this is a pass fake. Oh. And we out of there.
What's your favorite way to beat a zone?
Almost exactly how they did that.
I got 2 great answers. What's yours?
All depends what defense they're running. So it starts off with the set. So I'll give you a perfect example. So if they're running a 2-3, I want to get into a 1-3-1 offensive set. So now I'm inside the gap. So now we're trying to get it to the middle of that 2-3, and then we're trying to pass out of that. So I'm never telling the middle guy to score. I'm telling him to pass out of it. I'm also trying to get to, even depending on what type of defense, I'm trying to get him to short corners. And sometimes I'll set a ball screen because they'll be wide open, off of ball screens and handoffs, especially if you screen the guy on either side of the 2-3 or hand off that guy, like it forces the guy that are on the that are supposed to be guarding the wing, or I don't even know how to refer to this. Short corner. Yeah, I didn't even refer to it, but it forces him to make a decision, especially if you overload that side. So.
Hey, Dev, some of them are talking about like being able to find a trainer and get some extra work, and that they can't. So, I mean, obviously tell them how they can get into the academy.
The academy, you can go to season2.nlab. So, like how we're kind of chopping it up, I'm actually getting ready to make a video for it today. I ended up moving, so I was a little bit slow on the videos, but you can go to season2.nlab.tv. We have a Zoom session, by the way, today. And so you guys pull up. If you can get to a court, because we're doing our Zoom sessions. We're going to work on our ball handling, different things. But if you have a court, you can go shoot on it. But we're doing, it's $50 a month. We're working on ball handling. We're teaching you how to shoot. We're bringing in, we got, if you twisted your ankle, what do you do? So we supply that type of information. The first thing you should do if you twist your ankle, huh?
$50 a month. I know a lot of trainers who charge, $50 a session.
Yeah, for sure. I know 300. So yeah, it's definitely not free. I know a lot of people jump, $300 a month, like, or $50 a month. Like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, listen, bro. Listen, everything in life ain't free. If you wanna like really get good at something, learn to invest into yourself. Yes, sir. 1-3-1 is the best way to beat a zone. Yeah, absolutely. I was taught that by a very, very good coach. He's actually my JC coach, but he used to coach at USF. Just super smart guy.
I would think it's maybe the second best way. I think the best way is don't even let it set up. Just sprint.
How so?
Fast breaks. They can't set up.
Oh yeah, if you're playing fast, you don't have time to communicate how to get in the zone. By the time you turn around, like the defense. I mean, the offense is already there. So I get what you're saying. But that can cause people to play too fast.
Someone said they learned so much from our stream, so we appreciate that for sure. That's why we do this stuff.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, yeah, and this is free. This is free.
This one is. I'll expect a check in the mail later today.
All right, so let's just finish off this game. Oubre pulling up for a 3. See the off-ball movement, see if they're still going with it. Yep. So now we're getting – I mean, this is just sorry. Some really sorry deep. I don't know. Like, this is it from the jump. Like, is he zoned off?
Guarding
I don't know, bro.
No, they're in their zone. They're in their zone, but someone was out of position.
So then maybe it's the guy all the way in the corner still not even knowing that the ball is inbound.
Yeah, he didn't know they're in the zone.
So he turned his head right here. He should know.
I don't know. They rotated terribly.
They just lost. So, let's see. All right, I think the game at this point was just over. Extra pass, got to make it. Bang out. All right, it's over. All right. So, first of all, man, I just want to thank you for pulling up to the stream. I thought it was a really good one in terms of just knowledge and learning and breaking down certain things defensively and offensively. If you guys learn anything from the stream, give a thumbs up right now, please. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to both of our channels. Ryan, where can they find you?
Mine is Ryan Rizuki. Just Razooky.
Right on. So one last time, give a round of applause for our guest, Ryan Rizuki. No, for real though, man. I appreciate you, and it's just you're just a dope guy, man. I'm happy to have you, a part of the stream, and hopefully we can do this again next week.
I'm all for it.
All right, bro. I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Just like I said, make sure you guys continue to support, subscribe, all that type of stuff. Thumbs up, and follow us on all our social. We'll catch you guys on the next one.